Hi YouTube, I'm back. It's Beverly again, and I'm back with another wonderful chapter of my book, Jezebel. So today I'm going to run into chapter 13. So, so much has happened. I hope you've been following. I hope you're intrigued. And better yet, I hope you get out there and buy a copy of this book because you don't want to miss it. And I know I've said this before in previous videos. I love this book. And the more I read it and reread it, and I'm when I write, I like to pretend that I am reading it for the very first time. And that's the beauty of it. When you can enjoy something that you've produced and just love it and read it as though you're reading it for the very first time. That's how much I love this book. I won't steer you wrong. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into chapter 13. So here we go. Ernest enlisted a domestic to assist Corinne with the upkeep of the villa and to prepare meals. Beulah was a 35-year-old housekeeper with admirable cooking skills. hmm I know we got some of those bad cooks in the southern part of the United States. And she was pleased to serve Ernest and his wife. The St. John family was known for being fair and just to their employees. And Beulah hypnotized that working for Ernest should be, and Beulah hypothesized, that working for Ernest should be no different. Beulah's mother worked for Daddy St. John, sister, before she retired. And when Beulah was a teenager, she accompanied her mother to work on the weekends. She vaguely remembered Ernest and his siblings when they stopped by to visit. Beulah recalled Ernest as the handsome, mischievous brother that broke hearts. He was still as handsome as she remembered, and still carried himself with an arrogant air. Beulah peeked at Corinne when Estelle assisted her up the stairs. She assumed that the frail wife would be no trouble at all. Beulah contemplated these things and remained in the kitchen chopping scallions, onions, and fresh herbs. The family suggested she prepare a local dish in Barbados called cuckoo with flying fish for dinner. She stirred cornmeal, okra, and put some water in a pot on the stove with a wooden cuckoo stick. It's like a wooden stick that you gotta stir it to make it smooth. Beulah seasoned flying fish. Now, flying fish is a fish that's local to the island of Barbados. And the reason why they call it flying fish is because it goes in and out the water like this. So it's very popular in the Caribbean, not only Barbados, but other islands as well. So Beulah seasoned up the frying fish. You know how we Caribbean people do that. And placed them into a steamy broth enhanced with some curry and some vinegar. Beulah mixed mauby. Now mauby is a tree bark that's boiled in water and sweetened. So if you're not a local person, you may not really care for it. But it's very popular in the Caribbean. So Beulah mixed a smallbee, which is a tree bark boiled in water and sweetened. She added a splash of vanilla essence to make it more flavorful. Beulah chopped cucumbers and diced avocado. She tossed cucumber and avocado in a bowl. She added some salt, pepper, and vinegar to taste. Beulah put the bowl in the refrigerator and resumed stirring the cuckoo. You gotta get that cornmeal and you gotta get that stuff real smooth, so you gotta keep stirring it. So Beulah, she knows how to do that stuff. She wanted to make a good first impression. Beulah eavesdropped on the animated conversation taking place in the living room as she set the table. Now, most domestics, not just in the Caribbean, but most domestics have a habit of spying on their employers. And, when conversations are going on, they got the ear to the door. They're listening, they're catching a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And they know what's going on in the family just by keeping that ear cocked. So that's what Beulah was doing. She was listening, cooking, and listening too. Son, what brings you back to Barbados? Daddy St. John asked. He sat cross legged in a rattan chair across from his son. I think Gezzy and Corinne need to experience life where I grew up. I saved a considerable amount of money, and the time was ripe for change, Ernest replied. Well, we're glad to have you back. How much money are you talking about? Daddy St. John inquired. Let's not get into that right now, Ernest responded. He was apprehensive about how his father would react to the figure. How much? Daddy St. John demanded. Could be $1 million, Ernest exclaimed. You swindled that money, didn't you? The world knows about the scandal, Daddy St. John barked. Okay, go, go, go. Rory, you messed up my video. Oh, God. You swindled that money, didn't you? The world knows about the scandal, Daddy St. John barked. Ernest felt like a wayward teenager about to be scolded by a parent. He held his breath in anticipation of the ridicule that was sure to follow. But to his amazement, his father chuckled. I always knew you would be the one. You were the rebel, the risk taker, the pain in the ass. I've been worried sick about you. Thank goodness you jumped ship before it was too late. You were clever enough to beat that vagabond at his own game. You've proved yourself worthy of being called a St. John, Daddy St. John exclaimed, and hugged his son for the first time in years. Ernest blinked back tears. Now that he had an inkling of his father's respect, an inkling, he didn't want to lose it by crying like a sissy. Son, where's the money? Daddy St. John asked. Hidden in barrels at the Bridgetown port, Ernest disclosed. My contact there has been keeping a watchful eye on your cargo. Let's take care of it right now, Daddy St. John insisted, and they headed to the port to claim the loot. So that's all I'm going to give you today of chapter 13 of my amazing book, Jezebel. Go on out, get it. You won't be disappointed. And I'll be right back with some juicy stuff, honey, from chapter 14. So see you in the next chapter. Bye.